And hey guys, and today we are preparing a coco shell for my shrimp tank. That's my crystal blue, and those my snails out there. And sorry about the glare. And we are now preparing a coco shell. It must be clear that it's a shrimp tank, so you need some sort of a moss, and shrimps really appreciate having moss in their tanks. So what we have now with us is two coco shells. Yeah, it's just like normal coco shells. I scraped out almost every little bit that was possible, and you can attach this thing to a driftwood, but we are using a coco shell because it's an organic medium and it holds really well. And the moss that we are using now here is fissidens moss, which is also called as phoenix moss, and this one's really pretty. It's really tiny leaves and it looks really pretty. And this is a low light plant, so not a plant, sorry, it's a moss. So it, and the lights that I'm using is really not really bright. So there's LED strips, regular LED strips, and so this one works really good. And now we are going to prepare this thing on the coco shell. So let's begin. So what we need is a normal moss and any base on which you would like to tie this thing to, and obviously a forceps and a regular thread. So let's begin. It's very simple, it's nothing different or difficult, and let's see how I do it. So guys, to begin, I take a coco shell. I have made a hole up there, and the reason I'm making this a hole is because just in case the shrimps feel like going inside the shell for any sort of protection, it's, if I place it inside the tank, shrimps could easily go in, come out whenever they felt like. And let's start how we do it. I take a required amount of moss. Now since you're starting this, I place a moss. I don't know whether you're able to see this. So I now placed it. We follow this and further. Don't bunch it up really dense, because if you place it really dense, then the chances that leaves won't get enough lights. This, though it is a low plant, it still need light, so we are not going to dense it up with lights. So we just put this thing on the shell very nicely, and once we uniformly place this thing, it's when you're using a coco shell, I would actually prefer to keep your coco shell in water for a small period of time, so that it gets nicely moist and is ready to take moss over it. And Now I guess now I'm low on moss, so I guess I should stop there, and I'm taking a thread, a normal thread meaning you're not taking a cotton thread because that will melt away with time, and we are tying this. Make sure you reach each and every patch, and this is the way I do it. Now I'm getting, you keep going diagonally well so that you get each and every bunch on your thread, just like that. Now this one I took a really angular one. See, the idea of tying this thing is simple. We are just making sure that your moss is sticking really well, and ensure that it has a good surface over the coco shell. Only then you will have some sort of growth, because not all moss need any sort of substrate or any sort of base to grow, but if they get something really good, something like a driftwood sort of material, that would help them to grow better. And I am done now. This thing is how it looks like from bottom. You'll have all threads everywhere. Yeah, now you can see the moss. I got my moss really well to my coco shell now. That's how I do it. And now we are ready to put this thing into the water there inside the shrimp tank. And this is not an active base, so I don't think this won't increase or decrease your pH values or anything like that. It's completely safe, and it's really good. And once you have a flourishing moss onto this, it's really looks really pretty, and especially when you have a moss like fissidens one, it's really pretty, and it will be a beautiful sight to watch when you have something like this. And when you want to propagate this one into a next level, you can either scrape out moss from this and keep small patches onto a different shell and tie it just like I did now. Or you can, the other option is like you break the shell without damaging much, breaking into big pieces out of this thing, and tying the same piece onto this one. Initially it won't look good, but once the moss takes over, it will be really pretty to watch. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope this one works really better. I'll surely give updates once I see anything positive growth on this. And thank you, guys.